And good morning and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. We are live ahead of FPL Game Week 15 deadline. As you can see, we've already made our 2 transfers for this week. We had 2 going into the week. Obviously, we need to try and use up as many as we possibly can. And we've made our early moves. We took Mateta out. We brought in Thiago this week. And of course, we have brought in Phil Foden. I've already managed to catch 2 price rises as well from Phil Foden. Like, the price rises at the moment are absolutely ridiculous. And I only expect them to get a little bit kind of more crazy over the next few days, especially with everyone having 5 tonight. Obviously, when the game, resets, when the deadline passes, people are going to have them. So there might even be some more early price rises as well tonight. So things could get a little bit crazy over the next few days. Of course, if you're enjoying the stream as well, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you are getting your comments in. Any questions you've got about your team, get them in the comments. We'll try to answer as many as we possibly can. Of course, there will be the usual team reviews as well on today's stream. So we'll probably do those around 7:30, 8, 8:30 and 9 o'clock. So the usual way of doing it, if you are already an existing subscriber, you know the drill by now. Head over to my X, head over to my Twitter, and you'll literally see the tweet right there. And it says, this is the place to do it. This is the place to leave it. And just put it right there. Simple as that. Done. Bish, bash, bosh. Very, very easy. As I can see in the chat already, we've got Zen in the chat. Hope you're doing good, mate. He says, wow, Thiago, nice. Yeah, not too bad. After last week, you have to go full TC Bruno. I don't have to go full TC Bruno, but it would not surprise me to see Bruno go and get a mega haul. Thoughts on Mateta? Semenyo and Mateta to Foden and Welbeck for a -4. I'm chasing rank and I lost in my mid-league rival have Semenyo meta. I don't think I would do it for a -4 for me personally. Like, with us having 5 transfers next week, if you want to make big moves, then do it next week. Just use all your transfers this week. So I personally wouldn't be looking to make any minuses this week. Unless your team absolutely needs it, then I don't think it's going to be worth it. And someone's just asked me, do you think a -8 is worth it if my team's a shambles? Well, if you can make it through this week, you're going to get 5 next week to really address like big issues. So I think as long as you can probably make it through this week, you will be fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't deep it. Van Heck or Nunez or Van de Ven. Van Heck all the way. Like, he's going to play full 90s all the time. I'm planning for a Bruno cap. Very nice. Very nice. Any chance of you captaining Foden? Not with maybe like a benching potentially in like the mitts. Not like I'm saying like it's going to happen or I'm trying to, razz it up or anything. But of course, they do have Real Madrid midweek. He has been playing very consistent minutes, and I wouldn't put it past Pep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much going off. So, yeah. Best goalkeeper replacement for Pope other than Raya. Maybe like Verbergen if you really want to go down. Brentford have got some nice fixtures coming up, so maybe a Kelleher potentially. Other than that, you are really struggling in the goalkeeper department. I think the other goalkeeper I maybe would consider would potentially be Sanchez. Like, Chelsea's fixtures are okay over the next few weeks. Game week 20, they get really good. So that'll probably be the other one I'd go for. Someone says, morning Vitinia. Thank you very much. I'll take that one. That's better than some of the Mr. Beast ones we've had. I've done Foden in for Semenyo. Is there a possibility free hit this week because I need to recover ranks after a disaster -4? Or is it better to use the 1 free transfer for a die in 16? You're going to get 5 next week anyway. So maybe next week play it. Like, unless you've got 0, like, this is the only time I would probably maybe say play a free hit. Is if your team's like a little bit edgy, you don't, one transfer is not going to fix it. Maybe play the free hit this week. Then next week you get your unlimited transfers anyway. You get your 5. So yeah, not unlimited, it's 5. Will you look to transfer out on Buemo next week? Potentially. Like, Bournemouth's a good fixture. Like, they're 5 without a win at the moment. So I don't think it's the worst fixture in the world. And their away form is absolutely abysmal. That fixture's away, right? I'm pretty sure that fixture's away. Yeah, it's away for Bournemouth, so it's a good fixture. It is a great fixture. So if he is available for it, probably not. However, we might be forced into it if he's like going to absolutely tank with prices and stuff like that. Am I planning to get Palmer? Depends what the minutes are like today and in the Champions League midweek. Remember, we do have Champions League next midweek as well. So there's going to be a lot of games coming up for these players. I'm planning on holding most of my 5 free transfers for a rainy day. Fair. I think that's a decent option, to be honest. And I don't think my team, like, I'll probably make a few moves, but we'll probably still build ourselves back up to 5 or at least get close to it for the next few weeks. Start 2, Senesi, Anderson, Richard. Cheers, mate. Good luck. I would personally go with Anderson and Richards. I know they're playing against each other, but I really don't think Bournemouth are in a great place right now. So yeah, I probably would do that. When am I doing team reviews? We will do them at 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9. Hi Tom, opinions on Donnarumma out, Raya in? Probably not. I think that's a bit of a waste of a transfer. But obviously, we do have to burn through transfers, so making some more luxurious moves this week might potentially be the play. I think Shaw will start today, but not sure who comes out. Initially thought Hall. Yeah, there were some weird comments around Hall and his fitness from Eddie Howe yesterday, so I think it could be Lewis Hall that maybe sits out potentially. Let's go, Tom. Good morning, chat. Hello, Jamie. Welcome back, one of our channel moderators. Thoughts on Welbeck? Don't mind it, but as we've already seen, like, there has been a benching, and that would concern me. Like, there's going to be more games over the festive period. I need to find a bit of tissue for my nose, but yeah, there are more games over the festive period where he maybe could get benched. So that would be the only concern I would have around that one. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's also not a bad option. I think just game week 17, you're probably going to load up quite a bit on City and stuff like that. So yeah. Gokrez captain and remove Minter for Semenyo. I don't even know if Gokrez starts the game, to be honest, so probably not. Hi Tom, bit of a situation. Need your advice. Please go. Please got. Is it worth using the bench boost this week? Richard should play. Goodmanson should play. Who have Leeds got this week? Liverpool. I mean, it's a 15, isn't it? And Liverpool are there for the taking right now. So go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Do you fancy taking the captaincy armband away from Haaland, given the crazy form that Sunderland are in? Yeah, they're not conceding a lot of goals away from home, but City are absolute monsters at home, to be honest. And I'm going to stick with Haaland. Look, we went Haaland against last week, and it didn't pay off. Like, I feel like if it paid off, we probably would be a little bit more happy to go for it. However, I think a lot of people maybe have learnt their lesson, and Haaland's effective ownership will be even higher. So I think for just pure safety, we're going to go with Haaland captain this week. So yeah. Bruno has Wolves. Tom, you sure you don't want to check the stats and captain Bruno again? Look, I know Wolves are bad. I know Wolves are a terrible side, but I'm still not going with it. Look, I think I should have used this logic last week. Bruno's a good enough differential. Same with Mbuemo for this week, that I'm still going to get positive EO out of them without having to captain them. So yeah. A few questions about TC Haaland. One from Ben as well, asking, should I do it this week or should I do it in game week 17 when they've got West Ham? All I would say is Sunderland aren't a bad side, right? I think they've conceded 8 on the road so far this season, so pretty decent. Obviously, they just have, taken points off Liverpool. They've taken points off Arsenal already this season, so they're not a walkover side, right? By any stretch of the imagination. This, however, is Haaland's second highest predicted points across all the models, by the way, for this week. The next highest is game week 17. If you want to play the chip this week, if you've got a real gut feeling that Haaland does something against Sunderland, then fair play. The only concern I would have in the back of my mind is if City do go a couple goals up, they do have Real Madrid midweek. That very easily could be the cause for Pep to go, right, off comes Foden, off comes Haaland. We're 3-0 up against Sunderland at home. The rest can see it out. I think that could be the play that Pep maybe goes for. However, Sunderland, like I said, are a very good unit, and I don't think Pep will take them very, very lightly. So it probably will be full strength side. So yeah, I'm still personally going for game week 17 against West Ham. West Ham are just dreadful. They are genuinely dreadful. But there is an opportunity to go this week if you do fancy it. However, they are single game weeks. There is a hell of a lot of variance. This could be the better week. you never know. He might not even be available for game week 17. But it's a great week to go for it if you do fancy it. Haaland rose in price this week. I'd love to know how many people still don't own him. I think he's like 72%. So there's still a good chunk of people, over 25% of the game, don't own Erling Haaland. They have to be like the dud teams right at the back. They have to be. Easy. Timber or Gahey for this week? Probably Timber. Like, he's guaranteed to start with the injuries they've got. Start Anderson or Richards. I probably would back the Palace are in really good form, aren't they? However, Anderson and Fulham at home can be very decent, so I maybe would edge towards Anderson. After Fulham, I think he'd yeah. Even after 3-0, he's still like, well, that didn't quite go the way for Fulham, did it? I'm waiting until West Ham. Haaland's record against them is filthy. I think that we've seen, like, this season especially, records against old clubs or clubs that you're going to be playing in recent weeks don't really matter too much. Haaland smashed through a few of those, like, didn't have a great record against Liverpool. His record against Fulham wasn't amazing, and then he's just absolutely gone and smashed it. So, yeah, it is something that I do like to look for, but I do think maybe this season it's lost a little bit of value a little bit. The problem with Moreno is the fact that you will have Gokares, Jesus just ready there to go for it. I think as a 1 week punt could be a decent option. Longer term, I do worry about his minutes. How about Bruno Guimaraes? Yeah, great pick. Said it last week. Even though he got his bench and he came off and did it, like, he's just one of those picks you have to play regardless. Like, he can't be one of those just chopping and changing. It's he's in or he's not. That's kind of the way you got to go with Bruno Guimaraes. Thiago will destroy Spurs. Yep, Spurs' home record this season is dismal. They've only won one at home all season. That was back in August in match day 1 against Burnley. They haven't won at home since. They've got one of the worst home records in the league. What defender should I get for 5.9 million? That Hiccup, is it Hikape or Hikape? Could be a decent option for the next few weeks if Saliba and Gabriel are still out. Obviously, Maresca's out or whatever his name is. So, yeah, those would probably be the ones. Can't believe I went against the robot last week and Captain Bruno. Look, Bruno had his chances. So, yeah. Love the Germany top, Tom. Would you take a hit to bring in Verbergen for Pope? Fancy a Brighton clean sheet? Nah, I wouldn't do that. Foden captain or Haaland captain? I would probably lean more towards Haaland this week. Just with maybe what's it called? Just for the minute security, I probably would look at Haaland instead. Bench 1, Timber, Richards, Chalobah, Chow. Who've Chelsea got this week? Maybe Chalobah makes the bench there. Maybe Chalobah hits the bench. All of those, though, very easily could do. Tom, what do you think about Hincape? Is it Hincape? Yeah, I think Hincape could be decent at 5.4. It could be a nice way into the Arsenal defence if you've not already got a pick. Cunha is a better option. Cunha's not a bad option. Again, though, there are some early substitutions just smattered in there, but with players off to AFCON for Manchester United, those minutes could be decent. Should I start Mateta? Yeah, 100%. Start Minter or Dewsbury Hall? I personally, for me, would go for Minter up against West Ham. They are dreadful. Get them going. Are you not worried about Bruno Manchester United struggling when Buemo and Ahmad leave? Their entire right side is their key to their attack. I mean, I think we maybe could see Almiron get sacked over the next few weeks. Like, they are just a woeful attack, really. They are really bad to watch. So yeah, I don't know how long he's got, really. Rodgers to Foden worth a hit, not personally for me when we get 5 next week. Start Cody Gakpo or Enzo. I probably would still back Gakpo, but maybe prepare yourself for a benching. Yeah, I think that's a very fair comparison. Like, when the big games come for Chelsea, they are a great team. When they're obviously playing the Leeds of the world, they're not as good, are they? Like I said, guys, the team ratings will be done at 7:30. So get those sent in over on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. That is where we'll be doing the team ratings. So yeah, get them sent over there. Is the City defence really a need on a free hit? Look to double in the Newcastle and cover Arsenal plus Van Heck. I think personally, like, you've got to go like from my free hit experience this season in the single game weeks, you've got to back the best fixtures, right? So City versus Sunderland is one of the best fixtures this week. I think you've got to fully back it one way or the other. Newcastle, I would even be tempted to maybe triple up on the Newcastle defense. Like really go for it. That's what I did with my team. Like I just really went into these positions. There was a draft that I was contemplating that had like triple Villa defense and stuff like that. Like I think you've just got to be like, is it called like covariant? Like you got to be positive covariant. Just go for it that way. So I personally, for me, would go like maybe like triple Newcastle. I'd obviously look at some Liverpool players against Leeds. Like I would just back the best fixtures, Brighton as well. I think you've got to have maybe like Minter and Welbeck the double attack. And yeah, that's personally for me how I would go for it. I don't really know how to call that Villa Arsenal game. That is a super tight game. So yeah, yeah. I didn't watch the World Cup draw yesterday. I did not. I was out, but I heard it was a bit of a shambles. But hey ho, England's draw not easy to say the least, is it? Not easy. Yeah, probably a little bit of a toughie. A little bit of a toughie, that one. Of course, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button as well. Always appreciated. I'm just going to blow my nose 1 second. Thoughts on Semenyo? Yeah, like he's still going to play 90 minutes. That's all I would say on that one. He's still going to play 90 minutes. So if, of course, you are bringing in someone and you're not 100% on their minutes or anything like that, then look, he's a 90-minute man, so why not? Would someone ask me about if you had Mateta, would you keep him or sell him? I had Mateta and I sold him for Thiago. So, yeah, that kind of sums up where I'm at with Mateta. Had free transfers. Did Mateta and Dye and Semenyo to Walter, Minter, and Foden. Might be a risk, but yeah, I think that's a valid risk though. We get the 5 next week, so if it really goes terrible, you can just address it like that. And I think that's the thing. Like that's why I went with Foden. I was like, look, his price is going to go up. It might go up again before the deadline, and it did last night. And it wouldn't shock me if he does perform today that it goes up again tonight with everybody having 5 free transfers. And I'm just looking at it and going, let's take the risk. Let's go early. Let's take the gamble. If he doesn't play, look, we can address the situation next week with a 5. If he does play and absolutely smashes it, he could be a player that could go up like 0.3 value in a week because everybody's got these 5 AFCON transfers. So it's like, it's going to be worth the risk. So I would say maybe because you've got that 5 as backup, it could be worth taking a few more gambles on certain players. Do I think Munoz is still worth it? Look, the Palace fixtures are still pretty decent, right? They do drop off a little bit the next few weeks with City and stuff like that. But they've got Tottenham, they've got Fulham, they're still good fixtures. The problem I have with Crystal Palace players is just the volume of fixtures they've got coming up. They've still got Europa Conference League. Then the week of Christmas, they do have their Carabao Cup game with Arsenal, right? And what we see with Glasner is very limited rotation in these cup games. Like, it's not a lot of rotation. They still play like fair amounts of rotation every single one. So, yeah, it is difficult to say. Pickford or Raya on the free hit. I think if maybe a bit of coverage of the Arsenal defense, probably go Raya. Start Richards or VVD. Richards, can you tell me whether or not Rice is going to play? I have no concrete news on Rice, so unfortunately I can't. Yeah, I think maybe FPL Towers have to tweak the price rises. If they haven't, then things could be a bit insane tonight. Literally, you could see, let's say, in any of the games tonight, Semenyo blanks again. His value could absolutely nosedive overnight. Foden scores, his could increase massively. Same with like if anybody does anything in the Spurs game or like if Thiago goes off 2 goals, that could be an insane amount of price rises. There are going to be so many over the next few days. It could be a little bit mental. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, make sure you are liking, make sure you are subscribing, make sure you are hitting the subscribe button as well. That isn't my current rank. I need to get rid of that. That's a lie. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that from the selection. There we go. That was last week's rank. We're not as good as that now. We're like 300k. No, we're like 289, something like that. 289. Any love for the Cooper? 4.3 is not a bad price, is it? But Probably not for me. Probably not for me. Who to transfer in for Mateta, Welbeck or Waltermada? Fear Waltermada benching or getting extremely reduced minutes. Apparently, according to some sources, this is going to be on the bench for this game. That would scare me. If I'm going for any Mateta replacement, I think there's only one. It's Thiago, right? He's got Tottenham. Andrew said, like, they're very impressed. He's like, back. Look at the fixtures they've got coming up. Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth are terrible away. Then back to Spurs again. After the Spurs game, Everton, Sunderland, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal. Like, he is just probably going to be one of those players, probably until game week 36, I will just keep. He's a penalty taker. He plays very good minutes. Brentford, as I've banged on about in multiple videos, are a side that have a great home record this season, can win penalties continually as well throughout the league. Like, he is just a very, very good player. So I think genuinely the template front two is just going to become Thiago and Haaland. I do. With Mateta maybe looking to leave the Premier League in January as well, I think personally for me, the template front two going forward is going to be Thiago and Haaland. I don't think there's another forward that comes into contention. So yeah, not for me. 7:30 is when we'll be doing the team ratings. Good morning, Tom. Would you bench Minter, Thiago, Saka, Welbeck, or Mbeumo? Oh my days, that is difficult. Surely there's got to be somebody else you can bench there. Jesus. That is a toughie because I would want to play my players against West Ham. I would want to play Thiago because of the penalties, because of Tottenham and their poor home form. Saka, I think, is still a player you've got to play. And then Mbeumo, like, Saka's probably the one I'm looking at. It is probably between Saka or Thiago, but I would not be surprised if you end up with massive points on the bench as well. Collins got benched midweek, so which Brentford defender do you think I should buy? If Collins can get benched, so can VVD. I mean, they all could get benched. They genuinely all could get benched now. After seeing Collins get benched midweek, so probably would stay clear a little bit. Do you think Saka to Foden this week and Mbeumo to Saka next week is worth it? Yeah. Like, if you're gonna get the positive, like I said, if price rises are mental tonight and they don't tweak the like requirements, what we very easily could get is a situation where if Foden goes off, everybody's got the 5 transfers once the game finishes. His price could very easily just go, right, it's going up tonight, it's going up Sunday. It could be that mental. It really, really could. So yeah, I maybe would be tempted to do that. Who should I bench? Semenyo, Bruno, and Buemo, Gravenberch. Done like that. Thinking to bring in Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, as I've said with all these kind of players before, be prepared to play them every single week. Don't bench them. Don't do anything like that. So yeah. Just stick with that. Does Brentford have another starting right back? I think Coyote probably plays the most minutes because of just what he offers to the side. Their other one would be Keane Lewis Potter, who could potentially play there, right? So yeah. Start Reece James or Richards. I would probably go Richards. I still don't trust Chelsea and I don't trust Reece James. Should I start Rodgers or Ndiaye this week? I mean, you probably go Ndiaye at home to Forest, right? That's the way I would probably look at that one. Once the deadline passes, should I make the Mateta to Thiago move ASAP to dodge price changes? Maybe have a look if he's going to go up tonight before making that move. Like, I don't think there's any need to make the move unless the prices are changing. Just you can have a look tonight, and if they are going to switch, then make the move. Bench 1, Van Heck, Enzo, Van Dijk, Mateta. Probably Mateta makes the bench in there. Like, I think all the other ones are pretty decent options this week. João Pedro start or bench. Who've Chelsea got today? Bournemouth away. Ooh. I mean, depends who you're benching him for. Play Chalobah or Richards. Richards. Salah is still in my team. Shall I punt on him as captain? My rank is 93k. Please suggest. It's a big gamble on a guy that is heavily out of form, so I don't think I would do it. Also, any thought on Rice? With him being in doubt for this week, probably not. Start Munoz or O'Reilly. I would start Munoz. Gvardiol or Van Dijk on the free hit. Ooh, I probably would maybe go Gvardiol. Are you guys thinking of Moreno? No. Gokres, Jesus are back. Don't go near it. Don't go near it. Should I start Van de Ven or Senesi? I would probably go maybe Van de Ven on that one. Yeah, this is the thing though. I think just the amount of crazy because they've given everybody 5. I think what we also might get a case of is some teams that have probably been a little bit dead for weeks will probably log back in and go, right, I've got 5 transfers because they've seen it plastered everywhere on social media. They'll probably come back in a little bit as well. So yeah. Do you think a double up with Thiago and Sharda is viable from next week? I mean, the next 2 fixtures are good, but I don't think I probably would go for it. Last Dance, Mateta or Enzo? Probably leaning more towards Enzo. People always ask me about formation. I need to know what players you're playing and that before deciding a formation. Is Foden going to play? I think he will play. I think he'll play. I think Pep will probably realise Sunderland are not an easy opponent. They've taken some points off some big hitters this year, and if he wants to keep himself in this title race, then of course playing his strongest side is probably going to be the way to go. Who should I bench? Elliot Anderson or Mateta? Just thinking of Mateta's minutes. Then go Elliot Anderson. But like I've said, when you go with these Elliot Andersons, Bruno Guimaraes', Caicedos, you just have to play them every single week. That is the remit of them, unfortunately, because you don't know where their big hauls are going to come. Go for it. Morning, Tom. Play Enzo or Thiago. Play Munoz or Timber. I would actually probably play Munoz and Enzo, but that is a tough call. Oh, dear. Olympian is captain in Foden. So that's a blank or a benching confirmed then, isn't it? Thiago, Walter Marder. Longer term, I prefer Thiago. Apparently, Visser might be back on the bench. So, yeah. Will Rice play? Don't know. Don't have any news on Rice. Who should I bench between Gahey or Calafiori? I would probably bench Calafiori. Who would you replace Senesi with, Van Heck or Anderson? I really like Anderson. I think he's just a solid guy. So is Van Heck as well. Both are great budget options. So whichever one you probably need and rotates around with the rest of the defenders would probably be the one that I would pick. I don't know, Jamie. I don't know. I don't know. I think we could get a lot of changes. I really, really do. If you've got 5 free transfers, people are going to go a bit nuts with them. They are going to go nuts with him. Raul Jimenez could be a decent shout. Like, there's some great fixtures coming forward. He is a player that I have considered because Muniz is out. He's just going to play very good guaranteed minutes, isn't he? So, yeah, Harry Wilson as well is also a very decent pickup. If people are looking for a cheap midfielder this week, spoke about him in my transfer targets video. Like, he just is a good option. He is a pretty decent option. Of course, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button as always, guys. It is appreciated. Looks like we've got a few what's it called? A few teams in for review as well. We'll do those at 7:30. Been a bit of a wild week. Got another TikTok over 1 million views. That was insane. The YouTube's been ticking along very nicely. Like, yeah. You guys are the best, so really appreciate you all. Did Will Palmer play? Do you mean do Will Palmer play? I don't know. I imagine they'll probably maybe off the bench again, potentially, but I wouldn't want to guarantee it. Start Gakpo or Anderson. I'm guessing you mean Elliot Anderson. Like I just said, if you want to play those guys, you've got to play them every single week. Will Keane start today? I doubt it. Moyes basically said like it's touch and go, really. So, yeah, I doubt he will probably play. It was quite a quick turnaround from obviously game week 14. So, yeah, I doubt he'll play. If I take a -8, will it come on my overall score or game week score? Well, both, won't it? Like you're taking a -8, so you'll be down -8 for this week, but it also take -8 out of your overall points, won't it? Can you make a free hit team? If you want to go and see a free hit team, there is a short available on YouTube, or head over to my TikTok, which is right above you. I've done a free hit team over there, so if you want to go and check that out, it is available. Well, Muniz isn't available. He's out. So Raul Jimenez is like that, locked. I think his minutes are just class at the moment. We'll have a look in a second because I've just seen we've got a super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. So relieved to finally get rid of VDV. Had him since game week 1. He's given me 3 times as many points from the bench, 45, as when in my team. Oh, mate, that is a honker. That is a honker. I'm glad you're rid of him as well. Best week to free hit, not this week. Next week's also a good week. 17's also a good week. There's plenty of good weeks. Just make sure to go like full in on the one-sided fixtures. Right, let's have a look at the Raul Jimenez minutes, because I think they're class. 73, 90, 90, 90. And I think this is around the period Muniz got injured. So since then, 90, 90, 73. Like, they're all very good, but his points are very niche. But Burnley, Forest, West Ham as a run between 16, 17, and 18. He could be a cheap forward that a lot of people do look to go for over the next few weeks. It would not surprise me to start to see him in a few people's teams. It really wouldn't. When to bench boost, as long as you got 15, yeah, I would personally go for it. I don't think Fernandez's minutes are a threat with Palmer being back. Enzo will just play a little bit deeper. I do think he loses a lot of his appeal, though. Like, penalties are gone now, so that will decrease like his overall points or predicted points ability. So he will be a player that will, of course, drop down a little bit in my estimations. Yeah, Raul will take pens, so I probably would go with Raul. That would be the one. Oh, I'm on the dregs of the tissue here. If you are enjoying today's stream, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting subscribe as well. Where are we at with the likes for today? 40. Come on, we can get to 50 very, very easily. Very, very easily. Sel Semenyo, Bruno G, or Pedro as a replacement. Ooh, Pedro might be a saucy option. I think Bruno G is the safer option. Pedro is just one of those players that just keeps popping up with goals, doesn't it? So, yeah, go for it. Thoughts on these trades: Mateta to Thiago and Dye to Bruno G and Semenyo to Foden. Yep, like them all. Should I buy James Maddison this week? No, I don't even think he's available, is he? FPL Tom, Foden or Cunha this week? Foden. Timber is a bit expensive right now. Is Saliba the shout? Saliba's not even 100% guaranteed he's going to play. So, yeah, I don't think I'd go anywhere near him. I think Enzo is better than when Palmer plays. That's why I didn't own Enzo this season. Palmer draws every opponent to him, fear and space for Enzo. He is a great box crusher as well, isn't he, Enzo? So, yeah, maybe we'll see what happens. Which two to start? VVD, Richards, and O'Reilly. I think just for minute security, VVD and Richards. When you're doing team ratings, at 1/2 So 7 minutes. Saka to Foden, then Mbeumo to Saka next week. I don't mind those moves. Would you do Semenyo to Foden for a -4 hit? No. Not with us getting the 5 transfers next week. I don't think hits are worth it this week. Unless it's like massively fixing your team, I wouldn't do a hit. 50 likes and Strip FPL is back. Strip FPL was a one-time thing. It's not coming back. We got 2 socks off and it's a bit cold today, so no, it's not coming back. Looking at the poll, I think this kind of just sums up the scarcity to go against Haaland this week. Absolutely battering it in on the poll, really. So yeah, he's the top option. Will Martinez start this week? Apparently he might. Yes. I think if I was on a free hit, I would take the gamble on Hall. Like, I just have a bench player ready, but he looked so good the other night. So good. Yeah. Start Chalobah or Richards. I would personally go with Richards. Semenyo to Foden, can only fund it with a -4. Wouldn't do the -4 then. Foden captain, not for me personally. I think just look at the poll. Like, this is an even bigger week where Haaland's effective ownership. Like, all those people that I think went with a differential captain last week have probably learned their lesson. So yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Someone just put it in the chat. People have PTSD from not captaining Haaland, 100%. And I think people will now go, right, they'll think a little bit more about it. And it's obviously come into my mind as well. Is like, do I go against Haaland this week? And probably not. Take us through the free hit chip. I would just go with the best one-sided fixtures. Look, whoever the betting markets have got as the best one-sided fixtures, go with that. That's what I would genuinely do. Should I triple captain Haaland? We only have 4 game weeks before the reset. You either do it this week or game week 17 are going to be 2 weeks as well. Hi, Tom. Good morning, mate. Is Dan Burn a nailed starter for this week? I don't know if any of the Newcastle defenders are nailed or guaranteed starters, but I'd definitely say he's very much up there with Botman out. So, yeah. Start Chalobah or Semenyo. I would probably go with Semenyo. I used my 1 free transfer and died to Bruno G, considering he has Burnley this week, planning on making him my captain. I don't think I would give him the armband. So, yeah. Yeah, Hal did talk about Hall's fitness. I think Focal tweeted it or someone. It might be Focal, it might be Andy. Someone tweeted it. I was meant to put it in the chat, but I forgot. I was out yesterday, but yeah, I saw that yesterday. So, yeah. When do we get some news for Rice? I mean, it's Arteta, so we're probably going to get absolutely nothing. We might maybe get an early team leak, but other than that, we're probably going to get very limited amount of information on that one. -4 to Foden for Semenyo. Nope. Like I said, I would not be taking -4s this week when you get 5 next week. Don't do it. Don't do it. Have we hit 50 likes? Let's see if we've hit 50 likes. Where are we at? Where are we at with the likes? What are we up to? 46. Come on, guys. You can get me to 50. You can get me to 50. Buy O'Reilly, even if he's likely benched, we'll want him for game week 17 anyway. Why? If he's going to be likely benched, why would you buy someone like that? No. Lacroix and Munoz, or replace one for Timber. Just roll them out, man. Roll them out. Palace's defense is just the one that keeps just battering my effective ownership. Like, it batters my rank every week, so just keep rolling them out. Virgil van Dijk to Munoz. I mean, Palace have got a lot of games. I have said this. There will be some benchings at some point because they just can't keep rolling out the same team. Opinions on Weaver instead of Enfo, considering how cheap he is and gets DC. He gets DC because he plays as a fullback. So that would be the reason that he hits it. And his attacking returns, very minimal. Very minimal. So, yeah, you're basically paying, like, realistically for a Brighton defender, but not getting clean sheet points. You're losing 4 clean sheet points. Yeah. Do you do UCL fantasy? I do UCL fantasy. So yeah, there you go. Should I start Mateta? Yeah, why not? Depends who else you got. Do you plan on upgrading Richards to a better Palace defender? Maybe next week. Maybe next week might be the move. But for right now, Richards is still doing a fine job. He is still doing a fine job. It's just unfortunate that the other Palace defenders are just doing so much better. But Anderson, for the price he is doing very well. Is keeping Gakpo a good option? I mean, when Salah goes, like, I do think his minutes will be very good. And the Liverpool fixtures are great. They are great. Hey, Tom, is it possible for me to finish top 1 mil? I'm round 3 mil. 100%. That is very easy to do. You'll piss that. Yeah, I think you could do the TC bench boost combo. I like that. O'Reilly or Anderson start. I'd probably go with Anderson. Do we get a UCL deadline stream this week? Nope, I'm in work. Unfortunately, I'm in work. Bench 1, Mateta and Dye or Semenyo. Maybe either Semenyo or Mateta potentially with an early substitution. Yeah, probably Mateta. 60 likes. Nice. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. Plans with the 5 next week. Haven't really thought about it too much. Obviously, it depends on Embuemo. Palmer's a player I'm looking at. Raul Jimenez, Harry Wilson are players I'm looking at for kind of, shorter term punts. I think we'll probably have to address the defensive situation. I'd like to get another Arsenal defender in. So finding the money to go probably Keane up or Rodon up is probably going to be one of the plays we'll have to do anyway. There's a hair in that tissue. Should I sell Semenyo or Enzo? I mean, probably Semenyo. After beating Chelsea, will Leeds beat Liverpool? Probably. I honestly would not put it past them. Is Foden actually that essential given his price is still going up still? I mean, if he keeps delivering the goods and the minutes are great for City with some of the projected goals that they've got over the next few weeks, yes. Why is anybody saying much about Igor Jesus? Could be an option. Forest got Everton this week. Not an easy fixture. When's Chris Wood back? That would be my first question. So Igor Jesus, what's his minutes? Tottenham, Fulham, City, Everton. Like, I think you just go Raul Jimenez for the next few weeks with those fixtures. He's all right, but yeah, minutes have been still a little bit sparse, even with Chris Wood out. Like, yeah, not a pick for me, probably. Not a player I probably would go for. When is team review? It is now. It is now. I just realized the time. So let's do some team reviews. Let's do some team reviews. Of course, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure you're liking, commenting, all that good jazz. Oh, wow. We've had a lot sent in this morning. Thank you very much. If you need to cough, you're all right. There is my hostage just coughing for the evening. Well, morning, you know what I meant. It is just Matcha Mills in the bed, so don't worry. I haven't kidnapped anyone yet. So yeah. Right, let's do some team reviews. What do you think of my team right now? I'm ranked 51k. Bruno cap is too risky. I think you're gonna go up even more against effective ownership for Haaland this week. Haaland is probably going to be close to 200% realistically, or close to it. Given the fact that the people that went against Haaland last week probably have lost their balls like me and are now just going to go with Haaland. So look, it is a great fixture. If you fancy the gamble, go for it. But like I said, Haaland's effective ownership is pretty scary, and you're going to get decent rank gains out of Bruno anyway. So maybe you don't need to go for the captain armband on him. Free hit team, nice. I think I'd probably you got double Newcastle defense. Neto, Wolves, Welbeck. I think Minter's got to get in there somehow. I'd rather have Minter start than Welbeck. That's how I'd sit on that one. Yeah, I'd probably have Minter start than Welbeck. This is my team, man. Did Semenyo to Foden before all the price changes. Would you start Senesi or Richards? Probably Richards. Worried about Chow starting initially. For Hall will come out. Burn left back. Hall played well. He did, but then obviously we spoke about Eddie Howe's press conference comments. So yeah. Free hit draft. Thoughts. A lot of people on free hit this week. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty steady free hit. Don't mind that. One free transfer and 0.4 million in the bank. Who should I go for? Oh, I'd be tempted to do the Mateta move, like Mateta down, or Tavernier to like Wilson could also be a fun shout for the next few weeks. Don't mind that. Or Truff it to like a different 4.5, like a Van Heck or something. Or yeah, that's probably where my mind would be. Or maybe taking Vicario down to like a Dubravka for the next few weeks. That's also where my mind would maybe go. There's no point having Vicario, so get rid of him. That's what I'd do with my 1-3 transfer, actually. Get rid of Vicario. Free hit game week 15. Haaland plus Foden or Haaland plus two City defenders. I think go with Foden. Given what everyone's buying into Foden this week, yeah, I'd go with Foden. Transfer made, not sure who to sell Mateta for next week. I would personally drop him maybe all the way down and upgrade that Enzo Lafay spot. I genuinely don't see any other forwards that I really want outside of Thiago and Haaland after this week. Like, I think they're just going to be the go-to front two. Did my squad looking good? Yep, looking fine for this week. Looking fine. Hi, Tom. Any transfer suggestions? I would just probably put Tarkowski, and if we don't get any news on Rice, probably put just Thiago in. And if it really comes to worse, like you've got obviously that one free transfer that you need to use this week, take the lit out, bring in like Van Heck and play him as the option. So, or just put Tarkowski in or go for a different 4.5 like Anderson. is a decent long-term 4.5 as well. Some good fixtures coming up for Fulham. So, yeah, he could be a decent option. Should I do Mateta or Enzo instead? Probably lean more towards Enzo than Mateta. Sitting at 148k, took a -4. Semenyo and Munoz out for Foden and Chow, risking. Yeah, I personally wouldn't have done the -4 this week, but hey ho, each their own. Team looks good though. Team looks decent. Brought in Chow and El Hadi Malik Diouf, put Senesi on the bench, and sticking with Moreno. Don't want to take a -4. Yeah, hold for one more week. I think Moreno gets the start today, but yeah, could be a dicey one. But the team looks decent. 0.2 in the bank, one free transfer. What is the move? I probably would get rid of De Ligt this week. With him being a doubt, just go for Van Heck. Done. Easy move. Easy move. I think I'm going crazy, but my transfer plan is below. Rodon to O'Reilly. Next week, Mateta, Gui, Enzo to Palmer. Who to bench? What do you think? I'm not the biggest fan of O'Reilly. Like, Pep, some weird comments in the week. Like, he's definitely going to get benched, isn't he? So, yeah, I would probably stay clear. Longer term, I do like the Palmer move, but let's wait and see on his minutes first before obviously making any sort of decisions on those ones, for me personally anyway. I used my one free transfer for Ndai to Bruno G. I was planning on making him captain. I personally won't make him captain. And if you've got a full 15, I will get the bench boost out of the way. That's how I would personally sit on it. And it looks like you have a full 15 for this week, so I would be tempted to maybe activate it this week. Get it active. Yo, FPL Tom, any thoughts on what transfers I make with the 5? I think let's just wait and see how the land lies a little bit. Let's see what Palmer's minutes look like, because I think that will be the big one. Yeah, I genuinely think that will be the big one, but I don't think people's teams are going to probably change too much. I think a lot of it will be based on today's performances before, of course, making any kind of concrete moves for me. 0.1 left. Switch Foden to Semenyo. Fair. Thinking of transferring Chalobah, João, Pedro, Buemo, and then Ndai, and some bench players with the 5. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Not sure when to free hit. My initial thought was free hit game week 16, but now I'm thinking the price changes might affect me and delay me to game week 17. Could also be a very valid point there. Yeah, or you could go this week. You could go this week, but your team looks decent for this week, so maybe not. So, yeah, potentially go game week 17. Because like I said, if you are on the free hit next week, you are going to miss out on quite a lot of price changes. Like, it's going to be very, very violent in terms of players' price changes. I'm just going to grab a quick tissue, guys. 1 second. Right, let's get back to that. Sorry about that. I always get a snotty nose in the morning. Don't know what it is. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Let's have a look then. What were we up to? This one, 029. A few problems here, isn't there? I would be tempted to maybe just whack the free hit on this week. Yeah, I think I'll go with the free hit. With quite a few problems in the squad, I think the free hit could be a tasty little option there, mate. Any tips on nailed Newcastle defense? Nobody knows who the nailed ones are going to be, but I think Burn and Hall probably got the most upside out of all of them. So yeah, I like those moves. Have got my bench order correct? Yes. Yes, you have. Semenyo and Gakpo and Foden and Minter, or Semenyo and Mateta for Foden and Thiago. I would probably go, yeah, Semenyo and Mateta would be the ones I would go for. Who to bench? Maybe you don't go double up on the Arsenal defense this week. I know you've got that trouble, so just go Timber and Thingy. So Calafiori, one bench. This is the thing. Like, this is what I always say to people. When you get Elliot Anderson, you just have to play him every single week. So I don't know if bringing in O'Reilly is the right play. I think like your defense is already strong enough. So I don't personally think the move's required there. So yeah, it's like a really difficult one, because I guess you're probably going to have to bench like Enzo, Anderson, Calafiori. That would probably be the bench that I would go for, but like that very easily could get some points on it. Very easily indeed. Right, guys. We're back in the chat. We're back in the chat. By the way, when I do go and do team reviews, don't think I'm being a dick and ignoring you. I can't see the chat. That's in OBS, and obviously I'm looking in Twitter. Right, let's have a look. I brought in White this week. Risky pick. Very risky pick. Very risky pick, that one. Not 100% sure that's the right move. Obviously, we'll do some more team reviews a little bit later in the stream at 8 o'clock. So if I did miss you that round, make sure you're getting it in for the next round. He can hit all the defcons he likes, but unfortunately, when it doesn't go that way, then it is what it is. I mean, you've got to be following me. Make sure you're following me, and yeah, I can't control how X works. I guess make sure you're an active Twitter user, or it's not going to work, is it? Start one, Enzo or Thiago. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I would personally go for Thiago. Yeah, I think I'd go Thiago on that one. Would you bench Chalobah over Van de Ven and Rice over Soberslai? I'd play Soberslai, and I probably would play Chalobah ahead of Van de Ven. Bench boost with Dubravka, Reinders, Rodon, and Estev. Yeah, I think that's a fine week to go and do it. Go for it. Or you could set up, obviously, the 5 free transfers for a bench boost week. Just another idea. Are you keeping Semenyo after this game week? He is gone from my team, isn't he? He is gone. So that says all you need to know about what I'm doing with Semenyo. Start Elliot Anderson over Mateta. Really frustrated with him, but don't want to take a hit. Just start Elliot Anderson then. Is Saka really worth owning? I feel like the money could be better spent if it was spread. Potentially. It is something that I have considered, especially with Palmer back. I think that gives us a lot more food for thought. But he has been doing all right over the past few weeks. Just no big hauls, really, is there? And that's kind of always been the case with Saka. There never is like the big hauls. He just is someone that, look, 6, 5, 4, 12, 3, 7, like 8. It's just what you get from him. Like, it's never massive mega hauls. It's just consistently good. But I'm not going to take him out ahead of Wolves at home. No way, Jose. They are terrible. Yeah, they're staying in there. Reece James did get 0 minutes, so I probably maybe would take the gamble on him then. Anderson versus Van Heck. I think both are great. I think Fulham have got the better fixtures over the next few weeks. I probably would lean more towards Elliot Anderson. Not Elliot Anderson, Joachim Anderson. Last 3 times I went out against Haaland was Foden for a 15-pointer, Semenyo for an 18, and 17. So my track record is good. Yeah, very decent. Like I said, I can't help what teams pull through on X. That's just unfortunately the way it is. Yeah, I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Start Rodon or Senesi. Mateta or Gravenberch. Who to bench? Gravenberch. Would you do a -4 for Semenyo, VVD to Foden, Anderson? No. Like I said, if I've got playing players this week, I'm not doing a -4 when we get a 5 free transfers next week. It's not worth the hassle or the risk. So yeah, I personally wouldn't do any -4s or anything like that. That's just the way that I would sit on this one anyway. Yeah, that's the way that I would sit on this one. Best 5.5 million defender for a free transfer, Van Heck. Can hit DEFCON, plays for an all right team, can get some clean sheets. He's not bad for 4.5. Anderson as well, also a cracking pick at 4.5. Mateta or Walter, I think longer term, like both are probably going to be players that I wouldn't want longer term. So yeah, Walter, like this is like apparently going to be on the bench for this week. Like that scares me longer term for his minutes. So yeah, got 5.6 to a defender. Who would you be considering? I'd look at probably that Hincape from Arsenal at 5.4. Could be decent value. Especially with Gabriel and the other guy out for a few weeks. Could be a decent pickup over the Christmas period. Bench 2, start 2, Moreno, Thiago, Enzo, Mateta. Probably would be tempted to play Thiago and Enzo. Would be the ones I would go for. Start Semenyo or Mateta. Probably Semenyo. Watkins, Saliba, Rice and Grealish. Bench 2. I think with Rice being a doubt for the game, probably Rice. And then Saliba as well, also a doubt for the game. So those probably would be the 2 that I would bench there. Minter, Palmer, Cucurella, Rogers, Xhaka. Who to start? I mean, bench Xhaka this week, realistically, right? Yeah, bench Xhaka. Thinking behind double United, I've had double United for weeks. They had some great fixtures. It hasn't worked out, unfortunately. This is probably going to be one of the final weeks with realistically there. Maybe we get the Bournemouth game out there, but yeah. Punt on Weaver, no. Like this is what I don't get about people. He's just a defender that can hit Defcon. If you want a guy like that, you're gonna have to play them every single week to really get them like max value out of them. And basically, you're just playing for an overpriced defender that doesn't even get clean sheet points. He gets one clean sheet point. So yeah, I don't understand the appeal of it for me personally. If you didn't have an Arsenal midfielder next week, who would you buy? I mean, if Rice is fit and available, he looks very good and would be very tempting. Like he's very consistent at what he does. Defcon, set pieces, assists. Yeah, he is a player I have thought about maybe as my Saka replacement if I wanted to downgrade him. And then obviously look to upgrade to Palmer. That is something that has run through my mind. If you want to see a free hit team, there is one available on the channel, available in the shorts. There's one available on my TikTok as well. So yeah, next team review will be at 8 o'clock. Make sure you're getting your teams sent in. Head over to my X. Make sure you follow me on there at FPLTom_. Leave it under the tweet that literally says this is for team reviews. And yeah, you can get your team reviewed by me. If not, make sure you are heading over to the FPL Cartel Discord. Link for that is in the description as well. I'll put it in the chat right now for you guys. Make sure you're coming over there. Obviously, I can review your team just like that in there. You can come chat to me. We've got an exclusive podcast. There's so much great stuff. So yeah, come and have a check out of that. Link in the chat. If you want, obviously, guaranteed team reviews as well, that is the place to go and have a look. Minter and Igor, Thiago, or Foden and Welbeck. I probably prefer the Minter option, right? Yeah. Predictions. I think the Arsenal game is going to be very tight. Bournemouth probably beat Chelsea 1-0, something weird like that. Everton Forest, I can see a 0-0. City, I'm going for a 3-1. Newcastle 1-0. Tottenham, Brentford 2-2. Leeds, Liverpool. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Leeds. Brighton beat West Ham 2-1. Fulham, Palace is a draw. And United win against Wolves 2-0. There you go. I have Rice, Sobo, and Bruno G in our draft league, and watching them tick up more points every week than my actual team. Wow. Yeah, the draft league is probably a good way of maybe looking at like picks for next year, especially with like the DMs and DEFCONs and stuff. Like, could be a way forward next year is like you just pick some of these DMs at the start of the year and just watch them tick, really. Would you do Gakpo to Foden for a hit? No. No hits this week is my remit. Unless your team absolutely violently needs a hit, there's no point in doing one. Bench one, Mateta or Semenyo, probably Mateta. Van de Ven minutes. They should be fine after that midweek benching. Like he'll be back starting. I think they were just trying to manage him a little bit because he has played a lot of games. So yeah, I imagine it was just a bit of minutes management. So he'll probably be back. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. We're closing in on 100 likes. So yeah, FPL Cartel costs money. Why? Because it does, and it's exclusive, and it's set up between myself and Tom, and that is the service that we're offering to people. Is just that exclusivity and the chats and stuff like that. It doesn't affect any of our content. We wanted to make additional content without stretching ourselves thin, and that is the option we've gone for. Completely free for 30 days if you want to come test it out. There you go, done. Van de Ven minutes, I think, will be fine. Saka to Bruno F, knowing he'll get 5 free transfers. Also, Bruno captain. Bruno captain could be like genuinely could be a decent shout this week. He really could. But ultimately, I think a lot of people are probably scared, and that is why we're seeing such high rates for Haaland captain this week. Some people as well probably go with the triple captain as well. I think my dad is going with the triple captain on Haaland this week. So Haaland's effective ownership could be very close to 200% this week. Tom, do a coin flip for captain this game week. Heads is Haaland, tails is Erling. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button as well. We're on that road to 22,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and it would be amazing if we could hit that. Obviously, we've got another team review in 10 minutes' time. So if you do want your team reviewed by me, head over to my X, and yeah, we'll get that done for you. We'll get that done for you. Would you start Munoz or O'Reilly? Would you start Munoz or O'Reilly with a possible benching? I would personally go for Munoz. Yeah, I'd go for Munoz. That's the route that I would personally go for. I think that's the better play, in my personal opinion. That is the better play, in my opinion. I guess we're going to have to start planning out what we want to do with these 5 free transfers, right? Because we're going to have to make a move, one move next week. And I think the first, if we're just going to probably keep all the eggs in the basket, probably would just be like getting a Michael Keane replacement if he's not fit or available. That's probably where my head would go. Maybe we'd look at an Arsenal defender potentially for like a using 2 free transfers, maybe like Enzo down to like a Harry Wilson, or maybe Krupi up to like a Raul Jimenez if we want to take some funds out of the midfield, maybe like an Embuemo down or a Saka down or something like that. So that is probably where my head would be at with that one. Of course, keep the questions coming in, guys. Anything you do have ahead of the deadline, do let me know this week. I'm very interested to know. On a wild card, Van der Berg or Anderson? I would go Anderson. Buy Raul? I could buy Raul. It gets me into the Fulham decent fixtures for a few weeks. Cheers, Tom. Also, did you catch the World Cup draw? A lot of people asking me this. I did not. I was out doing some Christmas shopping, but I heard it was a bit of a farce. So, yeah, not a great group for England. If anybody else is obviously from other countries that are at the World Cup, let me know what you think of your draws. Let me know what teams you got as well. Obviously, when that drops as well, we will be doing some World Cup fantasy over the summer. So if you are looking forward to that as well, I am. I know it'd be good. Those 2 a.m. games again, like all the way back this summer with the Club World Cup, that might be a bit painful, but hey ho, it's still going to be a bit of fun, isn't it? Saka or Minter or Bruno G only this game week. I mean, if you're only going for this game week, I probably would look at the upside and probably go with Bruno G or Minter. João Pedro plus Cunha to Foden plus Thiago for a -4. I personally wouldn't go for a -4. No, I don't. Like I said, I wouldn't be going for any -4s this week. That's not the remit I would be looking for. Will O'Reilly start? I think he probably will, but some of the Pep comments did make me think, that doesn't look great. Doesn't look great, does it? O'Reilly or Richards on the bench. I think with that O'Reilly maybe benching and like coming off the bench, I would be tempted just to go with Richards there personally. That's probably the way that I would lean on it. Yeah. That's probably the way that I would go on it. Do. Calafiori or Chow? For this week, probably leaning more towards Chow for the start, right? Burnley, some of the best clean sheet numbers. I would personally go for that route. That's the route I would go for anyway. Yeah, that's the route I would go for. I want to see what these notes are like. This player may be called up for an international duty and could be absent from game week 17 to 22. That is a cool feature. I do think that is a cool feature. A lot of maybe like the casuals weren't obviously aware of it. A lot of people have asked me for a free hit team. There is one available on the channel already, but let's build one for you guys. Personally, for me, right, I would be looking to go like full stack into sides. So like I would personally probably go for like triple attack. Let's get rid of all of you. Thiago can probably stay, actually. Right, so Newcastle, I probably would go for, like, Hall. Like, this might seem a bit wild, but this is how I would personally go about probably building a team. How do you... Well, is he down as Ruben? Yeah, he is. This is personally how I would probably go about building the team. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need one more realistically. I guess it would probably be like a Liverpool player. I don't know how you spell his name, but Soberslai probably would make the team. Something like that probably would be the player. Rodon can just come back in. That would probably be something I would build on a free hit. Something like that. Like I would really, really stack into one-sided side, like one fixtures. Triple United attack against Wolves. Triple Newcastle defense against Burnley. Like I don't see Burnley scoring, so try and milk as much of the clean sheet out of it as possible. Brighton as well is also a valid shout. Minter could also be an option. Welbeck up front, something like that. Like that's probably how I would stack this week. And if you are like, okay, that's looks weird, it does look weird, but stacking is a very, very powerful tool in fantasy games. If you've ever played Fan Team or don't know what Fan Team is, it's basically like paid FPL, really. Like you just pay and you win prize money and stuff like that. Stacking is actually banned because it's that overpowered. Because stuff like this, like if you get these one-sided fixtures, especially on free hit, in these single game weeks, I think you've got to take full advantage of it. So stacking with your Newcastle defense or triple Manchester United attack. Because if you've got to think back to the free hit I did a few weeks ago. If you'd have triple stacked into the Villa defense, great, you get the clean sheet. You triple stack into that Brentford attack, you've got the Dango points, you've got the Thiago points. Shorter, if he had done something, you've got that cover. So I feel like if you're going to go for, like, an Mbeumo, Acuna, or Bruno Fernandes, so yeah, go for it. That's what it is. So yeah, there it is. If Burnley score, Burnley score. Like it's just one of those. But if Burnley don't score, you get like I said, it's very much high risk, high reward with this strategy. So yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. Would you rather have Enzo or Minter? I would probably rather have Minter. I mean, for that comment, I think you're gonna get banned out the chat. But yeah, let's get you out of the chat for a bit. You put some sus comments in for a while, so get out of here. Is Reefer nailed? He is, but like, there's not really too much in terms of that. So yeah. Start Senesi or Mateta. I probably would lean more towards Senesi. Anderson or Minter. Minter. Last week, made Bruno cap, didn't work. Should I go for Foden cap too this week? I personally wouldn't. I still think the play is go for Haaland. Like, just go for Haaland this week. We're still going to get positive points out of Bruno. Like, that's how I should have lent on it last week. If Bruno does go off, we're still going to get the positive gains out of him. So, yeah. Would you recommend buying Bruno or Foden? I think both are fantastic picks going forward. I think Foden could be, though, one of those players that massively jumps in value over the next few weeks. So I would be very, very, cautious around that. Like if he, of course, smashes it this game week, with everybody having 5 once the deadline passes, don't expect, like he very easily could just be like straight up there as well. Would you recommend, is Viva nailed? Yeah, Gordon or Welbeck a better choice this week? Gordon could play, but that's that dice, isn't it? That's that risk. So I probably would go for Welbeck. Anderson or Enzo? I would probably prefer Enzo. Do you recommend tripling up in defense, like 3 Arsenal defenders or even 3 Palace defenders? Not every single week. Not every single week. Unless, like, I think probably the Arsenal defense would be the only one where they've got full strength. would probably go for it. Yeah, someone makes a great point. Do keep it just, friendly in the chat. Keep it friendly in the chat, or you will just be, you will just be booted from the chat. Like, it's just an FPL stream at the end of the day, guys. Like, come on. We're all here for a good time, bit of a joke, a bit of a bant, but no need to be a dick or do anything stupid. Is Cash a good shout for this week? Probably not. Probably not. Not with Arsenal now. TC17 thinking bench boot this week. Just worried O'Reilly and Foden might be benched. They could be, but if they do well and they're sat on that bench boost, that could be a great week to go for it. I think if you've got the 15, you're confident in it, back it. Thanks, bro. I went top 18k last week. Very nice. Love that. Sunderland beat Chelsea, tied with Arsenal and Liverpool. Will they beat Manchester City? They're on a roll at the moment. They are on a roll of dominating teams, aren't they? So maybe we might see it again. Right. Let's head over back to the review, and let's have a look. We on the review one, or did I click the wrong one? Oh, I clicked the non-Christmas theme one. Sorry, guys. Let's head over back to Twitter and see what teams have been sent in. We've had another batch sent in, so thank you very much. Where was the last one we did? Maybe, well, it was about 30 minutes ago, so it's probably anything from here, right? I did the 029 ones, I think. I did all these ones, right? Yeah, I did all those ones. Mateta to Walter, fair. I think maybe after this week, though, you might want to take him out, but I can see you've got the Howe profile picture, so I'm guessing you're a Newcastle fan. Team looks fine for this week. FPL Universe. Got a bit of cover if Rice doesn't play. Yes, Semenyo off the bench. Yeah, that'll be fine. FPL Tom, free transfers, 0.4 in the bank. Wolf, you need to make some moves this week, mate. I think your team's in pretty good nick. So that's not good. I would probably move out Truffet. I would maybe try and move out Petrovic potentially as well. And then my other move would probably be like either Mateta down to someone. Like you've got maybe to make some moves here. Oh God, I would not like to be in this position, especially when we get the 5 AFCON ones. So yeah, try and make as many moves as possible. So like probably moving Truffet, maybe moving Esteve out, maybe going Mateta down to a cheap forward and upgrading one of the midfield spots. That's probably what I would do. 2 free transfers. Otherwise, Donnarumma and Semenyo to Henderson and Foden already have free City, or bring in Bruno G for Eze or Enzo or Saka, Mateta. Not sure what else to do. Free hit button, but don't want to lose. I wouldn't personally lose the 2 free transfers. I probably would try and set yourself up for future weeks. So I think, yeah, Eze, Enzo, and Mateta would be the ones on the chopping block for me. I have 1 free transfer, Sarr to Bruno G. I wanted a wild card, but I'm thinking of saving it for next week. Or should I just hit it now? I mean, you could wild card this week, right? Then you get your 5 next week, but you're pretty much set, aren't you? So I would be tempted to wild card this week. Then you've got your 5 AFCON transfers. So pretty much wild card, then get it set up with the 5 AFCON moves. Then you've got just really, really good scope to play with. So you could have a few 1-week punts in here as well. You could kind of set it up as a mini free hit, if you like. You could probably go a little bit more deeper into the Newcastle picks or the one-sided fixtures for this week. Then you've got that wild card the 5-3 is kind of the get out of jail free card. So I'd be tempted to wild card this week. Yeah, I think I would. Thank you for everybody that sent in their teams. Obviously, we'll do another batch of those in a bit. Is it worth replacing Enzo for Foden? I would be tempted, yes. I mean, Enzo is an XGI merchant. That is what I've learned this season. He is just an XGI merchant. Hi Tom, how's it going, man? Decent. Is Timber becoming so expensive that Calafiori is better? Seems nailed to me. Calafiori is definitely not nailed in the slightest. I think someone was saying earlier as well he's on 4 yellows, so probably not. Timber for the next few weeks is definitely nailed as well. Like going to be playing centre back with the injuries they've got. So yeah, I think he's a decent option. I'm free hitting, keep Mbeumo plus Bruno or have Gakpo plus Bruno. I would probably still keep Mbeumo plus Bruno. Like, what's it called? Wolves are terrible. They are the worst side in the league. So yeah. Moreno on a free hit. Give Emi Martinez is out, so Villa would be vulnerable, maybe. But I think there's probably better picks on the free hit in the more one-sided games. Vissa is not off to AFCON. Wasn't called up by, I think it's Congo, one of the Congos he plays for, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Is it DR Congo he plays for, or he's from? Sorry. But yeah, he's not going to AFCON. He is. He's remaining at home. So yeah, there you go. If you are enjoying the stream, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's see if we can push it up to 100 likes on today's stream. Would be very much appreciated. I need to find a way where you guys can't see that. Like, the flash of this is really annoying on like streams. Maybe if I put it higher. There we go. Okay, so if we have the mic higher, then you guys can't see the flash as much. So there we go. We just know. We just have to have it a little bit higher. There you go. Right, let's have a look. Is Van Heck a good option? I think he's one of the better, cheaper options, isn't he? Yep, someone said I'm right. Great, wonderful stuff. Thoughts on, I don't know who that is, so yeah, I probably would need to have a look who he is first before making any sort of transfer recommendations. Right, I need to tilt it so it's like that. There's the perfect angle. Hi Tom, considering captaining Bruno again this game week, your thoughts? Man, like, it's a great fixture, isn't it? It is a great fixture. So if you are fancying it, go for it. I'm never going to sway anybody off. What I think I should have learned is listening to my own advice. Bruno is low enough owned where if he does anything, we're going to get still very good positive like value out of him. Still decent rank gains out of him. Haaland is just a destroyer at the moment of ranks if you don't have him or don't have him captain, as we saw last week. So yeah, that's where I would be at. What was your lot's top artist on Wrapped this year? Mine was Drake. I mean, it always is, just because the amount I listen to Drake at the gym. That is literally one of the main reasons. Like, my gym listens pretty much dictates how my Spotify Wrap looks like. Other artists as well, like Kate Renada, Mac Ayres, Daniel Caesar, I think, Tyler the Creator, and Jack Marlowe. If you like house music or like garage music or all that stuff, Jack Marlowe's your man. But yeah, let me know. Let me know where you guys are at with your Spotify Wraps. Who was your top artist for the year? Do let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to see. Do I buy Saka for Foden this week? You could make that switch, get the good one-sided fixture, and then maybe look to buy Saka back next week. That could be an option. I don't mind that. Oh yeah, that Turkish wingback. I don't know anything about his minutes, so I probably would say no, and I've not seen anything of him. Like, if you're going to pick a Brighton defender, just go for the safe option of Van Heck. Hi Tom, would you sell Mateta or JP first for Thiago or Walter? I personally would probably sell JP first. How good does Anderson, Munoz, Virgil defense look? Fine, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Love Daniel Caesar and Kate Renada. Daniel Caesar's new album is absolutely quality, by the way. Yeah. Unreal. If you like, I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, Daniel Caesar just great. He's really good. Kate Renada as well, absolute boss. Saw him live in March, April this year. Unreal. Man knows how to put on a show. So yeah, Jamie says never use Spotify. I just use YouTube Music. Wow. Get yourself Spotify, mate. It's a game changer. It's a revolutionary website. I love it. I do like it. Might need to blow my nose in a second. Let me have a quick toot of my nose. Again, why do I keep saying that? Because it does sound like I'm doing drugs. Hi, Tom. Welbeck or Thiago this week? Thiago, all the way. My top artist was Drake. Very nice. Would you bring in O'Reilly or Timber this week? I'd be more tempted with Timber than O'Reilly. TC Haaland and go with the 5 free transfers. I don't hate the TC Haaland. It's the second best predicted points, second best projected goals for City as well. On some models, it is the best projected goals ahead of West Ham. So, yeah, hey, why not? Go for it. Leo Rojas. I don't know who Leo Rojas is. What sort of music is that? Let me know. How do you rate Igor Jesus relative to Walter? Walter's a good 1 week pick. But yeah, I don't think Igor Jesus for me is a pick. Like, the minutes still seem a bit dodgy with Wood not even available, so I don't think I would go for it. Who was your top artist? My top artist was Drake. Yeah, Drake was my top artist this year. One free transfer left. What would you do? Petrovic to Verbergen or Gomez to Potts? Probably the Gomez to Potts one. Yeah. Would you swap Munoz for Timber? Probably not. Oh, nice. That's great. That is great. I do imagine it's quite a cool feeling if, like, you got a friend and then you're like their top artist on Spotify. There was also the YouTube Wrapped as well. I had a few people send in their YouTube Wrapped and I was top. So thank you very much, guys. I really, really do appreciate that. Everybody that had me as their top one. I think Mills and Abby, who are in the cartel Discord, had like insane numbers, like 0.1% and 0.03 or whatever. Watched like a lot of videos. So, like I said, thank you for everybody that had me as the number one. Really appreciate that. What games am I planning on watching today? Probably, I don't actually know where I'll be for the 3 p.m. games. I might be here. I might be at Mills's house. If we're at Mills's house, we'll probably only watch one game, so the City game. If we're here, we might whack out the old free screen setup. So City, probably Newcastle would be the 2 games we have on, or maybe the Spurs game. And then, go from there. No Kendrick, unfortunately. No Kendrick. I do like Kendrick Lamar, though. So, yeah. Amazing stream today, Tom. For the free hit, would you be best to have a goalkeeper if you already have Newcastle and City covered in other spots? Would you be the best? I think if you've already got it covered, then yeah, probably maybe look at like a Raya just to keep yourself like afloat from the other options. The other option you maybe could go for is like a Brighton goalkeeper like Verbergen this week. So yeah, Gahey, Senesi, Tarkowski, Timber, and Chalobah. Pick 3 defenders. Gahey, Tarkowski, Timber would probably be the 3 I would go for there. Bench 1, Virgil, Timber, or Richards. Probably bench Verge. Like Liverpool are just dog, aren't they, at the moment? How do you find out you watch the most on YouTube? I'm too boomer for this stuff. If you update the app, it should be in there. There's like a way to go for it. How do you? Yeah. If you update the app and then it like opens up and it's like, oh, here's YouTube, whatever. So yeah, I had Freddie Gibbs, Kendrick, Childish Gambino, like Childish Gambino, Baldy James, and Daniel Caesar. From what I remember, very nice. Love the Daniel Caesar shout. What is my rank? 289. I think we're 289. Any Saliba news? Nothing as of yet. I doubt we'll probably get any team news for the Arsenal game, but we really, really don't get any early team news or anything like that. Do you think Liveramento starts? I think so. I haven't seen what Meerkat's done for the prediction yet. I'll have a look. We'll have a look. Let's have a look. Where's Charlie? FPL Meerkat. Let's have a look what Charlie's done for the predicted lineups this week. Arsenal has Saliba in. So if you are thinking about it, it does have Saliba in there. Who was the other one we were getting a lot of questions about? I can't remember who we were getting lots of questions about. I mean, I'm looking at Charlie's here, and Vifa, who a lot of people have been asking me about, isn't even in it. So, yeah. Palmer is in the Chelsea one, interestingly. That he's done. I'm trying to see what other ones people have asked me about. No Gakpo in the Liverpool one is an interesting one, but I mean, it could very easily slot in there. Nico Riley is in the thingy one as well, but again, we very easily could see him maybe benched. I wouldn't put it past it. Newcastle, yes, Newcastle. That was the one we were looking for. Liveramento, Burnshaw, Chow is what he's gone for. I could see that. I could maybe see Hall slotting in there as well, but yeah. Yeah, I don't. Is Trippier still out injured? I thought he was out injured. Maybe my bad. How much is it really worth spending on the goalkeeper position? Not like this is the thing. Because of Arsenal and how good they've been defensively, like Raya has pretty much paid probably for himself. Like he just he just is paying for himself because of how good Arsenal's defensive. Regular goalkeepers though are not great. Not great. But hey ho. Start Minter or Bruno G. I think you take the... Oh, they're both good fixtures this week. They are both good fixtures, aren't they? Probably Bruno G. Morning, mate. Who would you start in defence, Van Heck or Anderson? I would probably look at the clean sheet odds. I imagine Van Heck's would probably be better this week. Am I doing any more X team reviews? Yes. Half past. FPL Harry from Team U. Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. FPL Harry from Team U. Best goalkeeper for a free hit. I think Verbergen could be a decent shout. Otherwise, you are probably looking at like a Ramsdale, a Donnarumma. Probably would be the picks. Layman's from United could also be a decent one as well. Alanga, a good shout. I guess it's trying to just predict the wing backs. The wingers for Newcastle, which I don't think is an easy job to do. Like, it's not an easy job to predict the wingers, is it, for Newcastle? Yeah, that's how I would personally sit on it. Like, it's not going to be an easy job for that, to try and predict those. How's Mansfield going this season? We started well. We've fallen off in recent weeks. We haven't won a lot of games for a while. Yeah, we've not won a lot of games. Speaking of Mansfield, I have been obviously collecting the new EFL stickers, and we've got like the little casings for them and stuff, and they look sick. I've got like loads of them now, just on the side. So if you are like an EFL sticker collector, follow me on Twitter, drop me a DM. Like, I'm always happy to trade for some more Mansfield ones, because yeah, we've pretty much got the set complete now. But they look pretty good in the like little plastic covers I got off TikTok shop. So yeah, happy with that. Will Rice start, mate? I've seen him in some predicted lineups. I've not seen him in others, so I can't confidently say he will. Really hope Hall plays. Yeah, I think if Hall plays, he could be like a massive pick on a free hit, or a 1 week punt as well. Thoughts on Cherky? Again, probably not the City mid, right? Is Foden or bust, I reckon. Haaland is still contributing to most of Manchester City's goals, so yeah, I personally, for me, probably wouldn't look elsewhere. Who is a must sell for game week 16? Anybody that's probably off to AFCON probably enters that bracket. I would say maybe a must sell, like an Ndai, an Mbuemo, maybe. Like, these sort of picks are probably going to be the ones that would be must sells. Ndai or João Pedro or Rodgers bench one. I think you bench Rodgers, right? You bench Rodgers there. Yeah, the stickers, like, I've got so many of them, but yeah, using the card protector ones for the Mansfield one, they do look so good. I'm glad I went for it. Just like nice one. Like, I got like a set when I was a kid, and it's still in my bedroom at my parents' house. It's like some old England stickers that are in like a plastic wallet or something in a frame. So obviously, like, this is the first time that there's been an EFL collection or like Mansfield stickers for like 20 years. So I was like, I've got to do it. If they might never do it again, so we've got to do it. Get them collected, and then it's just a cool memento, isn't it? Really. So yeah. Okay, he might be one I might have to go and listen to then. I do like weird and exotic music. Yeah, I do like it. Foden benched or early sub due to Madrid match in 4 days. It could maybe be the case, but I also think Pep's like, we're closing in on Arsenal. We're in this title race. Sunderland are, putting up some big results this season as well. Draw against Liverpool, draw against Arsenal. Like, they are taking points off people. They're not a side that, you can just rotate around with. So I think he maybe starts the game. Nico O'Reilly or Calafiori? I'd be more confident in saying the Calafiori one than a Nico O'Reilly one for me anyway. That's personally how probably I would look at it. I like all sorts of music. Like, I genuinely will give any sort of music a go. Like, if you went to me, this is like house or like techno or anything, like, I will give anything a go. Like, my like songs this year, I think I listened to like over 4,000 different songs, 413 genres. Like, I'm open. If you've got something good, I will happily listen to it. So yeah, any recommendations for music, get them in the chat. We'll have a look. We'll have a listen. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Keeping your mind and your horizons open a little bit, and being open to trying new stuff. And if it's a bit girly as well, like, you know, Matcha Mills is always playing like a bit of Sabrina Carpenter or Olivia Dean and stuff like that. I'm like, I probably shouldn't like this, but it's good stuff. It is good stuff. Start Raya or Donnarumma. I probably would still go Raya. I've heard Linkin Park before. They're all right. Okay, nice. JPEG Mafia. I'll give them a go. Yeah. I think you've just got to have, like, just an open mind, an open spectrum to music. And if it hits the vibe, it hits the vibe. I'm right now at 740 points. Is there any way I can finish at top 500k? What rank is that at 740? Probably, I would say. Like, there's still a large part of the season, right? If you get your chips right, if you get like a triple captain that goes off or a great free hit week, you can really springboard yourself up. Thank you very much, Terry, man. I do appreciate that. Appreciate all the kind words that people have shared with me this season. Like, obviously, as we approach the end of the year, you do look back at all the achievements you've done throughout the year, and yeah, this channel obviously been one of the proudest things I've ever done. So thank you, and that's all down to you guys, by the way, as well. Like, as much as I'm here putting in the effort, you guys come stream with me and like and comment and make it a really good community. So thank you for everybody that has joined the journey this year. It really is appreciated, genuinely, really, really appreciated. So thank you, and lots to come in 2026, I guess. Good morning, Ramsdale or Bart Simpson or Kelleher for Pope, and then would you take a hit for a Newcastle defender? I wouldn't personally take a hit for a Newcastle defender, so maybe I'd be tempted to just do Ramsdale as a 1 week punt. I think the other two are probably better longer term punts as well. Chat is moving a little bit. Great. Hi, Tom. Haven't tuned in for a while. Glad to see you're in the top 10k. I can't keep up with the price changes myself. Well, that's my excuse anyway. I'm not in the top 10k. If you've seen the rank go past, that's last season's rank. I'm not in the top 10k. Not yet. We'll get there. Would you play Pedro Neto this week? Hell yeah. 100% I'd be tempted to play that. Haha. You said Tyler the Creator was in your top 5 tunes by him. I personally love Wharf Talk and Darling Eye. Yeah, some great songs Tyler the Creator's got. His new album this year just it was on repeat for me. Like, it was a great album. Sucker Free is like probably, like, if it had came out a little bit earlier, probably would have been my most played song of the year. Like, it's absolutely great. Yeah. French rap is weird. I do like a little bit of French rap as well. That's pretty decent. Thanks for the advice, mate. My rank is around 230k. 100% then. You're doing better than me, so yeah, go for it. Hey, mate, thoughts on these transfers for next game week? Sanchez to Raya, Semenyo to Saka, Mateta to Gui, Esteve to Anderson. Then game week 17, I could go Richards to Munoz. Make use of the transfers I get. Yep, seems great to me. Does seem great to me. Hey, mate, would you sell Raya this week to free up an Arsenal spot for Saka next game week? I don't think Saka's doing anything amazing. Yeah, I won't deep it too much. What about Chow? He's a decent option. I don't think you spam in anyway, mate. I know you're just putting it in because it flew past. Like, as long as people aren't like repetitively just where you can see it spam, that's fine. As long as, like, if I miss a comment because the chat is moving, or of course I am just chatting along as I do and get distracted sometimes, that is fine. Yeah, Sugar on My Tongue, probably because it came too popular, kind of ruined it as a song. But hey, it's still a good song. Still a good song. Good evening from Sydney, Australia. 1 free transfer. Van der Ven to Chow, Murillo, or Anderson. I probably would go Chow, Anderson. Van Heck could also probably get thrown in there as well. Robert Timber start for Mateta, the minutes. Yeah, probably. Are you tempted to cap Saka in 16? I think if United put a couple past Wolves, I could be tempted to go there. Hope you feel better soon. I have a terrible sinus today as well. Bruno G have Watermada in front or Moreno. Watermada. And I'm fine. I've just got I always have it in the mornings where my nose just is a bit runny. I think it might be because my nose is a bit broken. I don't know if you've ever noticed this. My nose is broken. But like, one side of my nose is always a bit leaky. Like, if I go from hot to cold very quickly, it always starts to leak like snot. So I think that's probably because it's a bit broke. I don't know. Someone will know in the chat. I like the French rap too. No idea what they're saying, but it flows well. It just does, doesn't it? It just cooks. I don't know what they're doing, those Frenchies, but they've got it right and they know how to rap. Start Anderson or Van Heck and buy O'Reilly or Chow. I would probably start, like, I think you genuinely could start Anderson and Van Heck, and you might not even need to buy another defender. But if I was to buy one, probably Chow. Will Doku play? Could be a dicey one. Sell Enzo to Minter. Don't mind that move. Should I sell Trossard to Saka? Yeah, if you've got the free transfer to do it and the money to do it, go for it. What do I think about captain? I think I'm going for Haaland. Look, I went against I went against Haaland last week, and I didn't listen to my own advice, and I should listen to my own advice more. But Bruno is already going to get me positive rank gain, and so is everybody else outside of Haaland. So why should I captain them? Is my ultimate thought. I probably got to be having in the back of my mind. Keep it safe. Keep, obviously, Haaland there for the effective ownership, but the rest of the time, just these guys are already going to get positive value out of me, so I might as well not bother risking it with the captaincy. I think that's probably how I should have just played last week, but I was an idiot. Again, not listening to my own advice. Could have a defective septum like me. It's pretty common, get cooked in the springtime. Maybe then. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Best goalkeeper to replace Pope with. I think if you've not got any Arsenal coverage, like Raya, Donnarumma, who else could be a decent one? Kelleher or Verbergen as the cheap options as well. You remind me of my local comedian. I have no idea who that is, but I'm going to just put him into my laptop. There we go. I'll save that for later. I mean, we've both got a Tash, right? We've both got a Tash, so we'll take that. What was your lot's top 5 Spotify rap songs? Good question. Good question in the chat. Lots of music chat today. I love it. I took Saka out for Thiago, playing a 3-4-3. Should I keep it or back? I don't know who the rest of the team is. I probably would need to see the rest of the team. Hopefully they do some changes to captaincy next season. It's the way almost every season and makes it really boring. Yeah, I think it probably will be something that they maybe do look at to try and obviously keep the game a little bit fresh maybe next year. I personally don't hate it. I don't hate it. But like you said, you can just get burnt a lot of times. So, yeah. I mean, I see the Tash, mate. I do see the Tash. Yeah, I do see the Tash. I don't watch Stranger Things, so no, haven't watched it. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the biggest things I've found is so many people come to me for FPL advice, like at work. Mills asked me, my dad asked me, and I can give them very good advice. And then half the time, I will ignore my own advice because for some reason in my head, I'll be like, nah, I've just given that advice out. Like, I'm better than that. I know better than them. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah. Is Saka the best expensive midfielder next week? Who else could I go for? I think, look, a lot of people are looking to get Saka out this week, which I think does seem a little bit strange. But obviously, we got the 5 next week to buy him back for that Wolves fixture. But yeah, he could be a really explosive asset next week. I'm scared of Foden benching because of Madrid on Wednesday. I get that, but I do think, Pep will see that Sunderland have taken some big points off people this season. He'll probably be like, let's just keep it. Let's get the win. Ahmad is off to AFCON, so probably not going to be a great pickup longer term. Oh, I love Redbone. Oh, Always as well is a great song. If Arsenal win the league and Sunderland qualify for Europa Conference League, who will get the manager of the season? I think it has to go to the Sunderland manager. Everybody had them bottom. This is the thing. Arsenal have been in the title races for the past few seasons. They were bound to win one at some point, right? So, yeah. What is the best free hit draft? I did one earlier in the stream if you want to find that. Or if you head over to the channel or my TikTok channel. By the way, if nobody follows me on TikTok, make sure you are following me over on there. We've had a great week over on TikTok. 1.4 million views on one TikTok. I think for the week we're up to like 2 million views for the week, which is insane. Like genuinely an amazing past 7 days. So thank you for everybody that's come over to the TikTok. But yeah, there is a short on a free hit over there. Yeah, I don't mind that. Captaining the same player 2 times in a row. It could work very similar to what like EFL Fantasy has with like their team selection, where you can only pick a team 5 times a season. It could be the case where you only can pick a captain maybe like 5 times a season. That could also be a pretty cool option. Or maybe 10 times, just because obviously the amount of games we've got and stuff like that. Andy's in the chat. He says, "Morning, Tom. Morning, Jamie. What do you think of sells for Pope cover?" I just don't think Forest are that good a team to really probably invest into the defense, and he's probably overpriced a little bit for what he's actually offering. I think realistically, he's priced obviously because of what he did last season, but in reality, he's like a 4.5 million goalkeeper. So I don't really see the value of doing it. Yeah, the TikToks are they're flying, man. They are flying. Um, So yeah, we'll keep up with that and keep cooking on. Abby has just entered the chat. We are going to do our next round of team reviews, guys. So thank you for everybody that sent those in. Of course, the final round will be at 9 o'clock. So if you haven't already, get your teams submitted, and yeah, we'll do that. I don't want to move to split view. No, thank you. Right, I think this is the last one we had to do, or did we do this one already? I think we did this one already, and I was like, you've got Timber if Rice doesn't play, so it's fine. My wild card for this week, and strategically use 5 free transfers over while getting people like Saka and Minter next week and Gabriel in when fit. I rate it. I do rate it. You've used all your transfers, then you can wild card next week, or the other way around. Yeah, I rate that. I genuinely do rate that. I think that's a great play. Well done, Mackham. Who should my differentials captain be? I don't know. I should probably captain Haaland. Who else is a good option? Like I said, I've learnt my lesson of going against Haaland. And this is the thing. All the players that you've got in that side, like Bruno, Saka, and Buemo, all these players that could be good captain picks this week, you're still going to get very good positive rank gain out of them without even captaining them. So I wouldn't deep it too much. Captain Haaland. Then obviously you can get the positive points out of, Bruno and Buemo and stuff like that. Deciding between Senesi out or free hit with the free transfer. Going early tonight with Mbuemo to Fernandez, Foden in somehow, and Mateta to free up the front. I would be tempted to maybe go with the free hit this week. Like the team's all right though. It does look like it could get by for this week, but a free hit and really, really target, like no Newcastle, only one Manchester United. I'd be tempted to free hit. Like you still get the 5 next week. You've got rid of the free hit. I would be tempted. I would be tempted. Thank you for everybody sending their teams in. Obviously, we'll do one more round a little bit later at 9 o'clock. That will be the final round of today. And yeah, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Should I captain Walter Motta or Bruno? If I was to captain either of those, I probably would go with Bruno. Semenyo or Declan? I'm afraid that Declan will not start and he will enter last mins. I don't think he will. I think he either plays or he's not fit to play. I genuinely do. For some creative captaincy picks. Hey, we never know what might happen. We never know what might happen. A Haaland injury in this game would send things a little bit crazy, a little bit over the edge. Do I watch The Ashes? I used to watch it as a kid with my dad. Haven't really watched it since his move to BT, and I heard the coverage is pretty terrible. So yeah. I guess it is part of, I understand what you're trying to say. Like sometimes going against the grain is part of it, and I understand that. But when you've got a guy who's close to 200%, it's really risky. Like even last week, like West Ham was a great fixture, just didn't pay off. Like I'm glad I took the gamble, but it just didn't pay off, did it, man? So yeah, that's it. There is another place you can send team reviews, and like it's guaranteed to get review. It is heading over to the FPL Cartel. I will put our link to that in the chat if you want to come join us. We've got our exclusive podcast. I've just put the comedian's name back in the chat that I had to Google a second ago. There we go. So there is the FPL Cartel. If you want to come and check that out, it is an exclusive Discord server run by myself and Golden Goal Fantasy Football. Come and check it out. It's completely free for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. So, yeah, there you go. I'm not buying Watkins. I'm not falling into that trap again, Andy. We've been there. We've been burnt. I'm not going for Watkins again. He can do one. How do you rate Munoz, Virgil, Anderson, Richards' defense? I think that's a great defense. That's a cracking defense. Maybe an Arsenal defender over the next few weeks thrown in there as well could really spice things up, but it's a pretty good defense, isn't it? It is a very good defense. Yeah, they 100% thought we were all going to have Mohamed Salah. So give us the AFCON transfers and, you know, we'll all have to like rejig our teams and stuff like that. Turns out Salah is dog dirt and none of us actually want to own him. So what was the point, really? Who to bench, Mateta, Semenyo or Anderson? I would probably bench either one of Mateta or Semenyo, probably for me. O'Reilly or Richards, I probably would go Richards. If you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. We're on that road to 22,000 subscribers. So if you do enjoy the content, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure as well you are following me across all platforms as well. Yeah, lots of short content going out on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. X, obviously, for team reviews and stuff like that, which the final round will be at 9. We'll be obviously wrapping up the stream around 9 o'clock as well, letting the big boys go and do their thing as always. But I'll be chatting away to people in the Discord if people want to come and ask me some questions in there. I would probably maybe back the home team just for the slightly better clean sheet percentage and go with Anderson on that one. But both could be great. Like for the EO and the obviously the how highly owned the Palace defense is. Could also be just worth sticking Richards in. 9 o'clock, mate. 9 o'clock is when we will do the final round of team reviews. Yeah, 9 o'clock is when the final round. And yeah, all good. All good stuff. It's been a nice stream again. We've had decent numbers in here. So, you know, steady. Thoughts on Enzo to Bruno G? Don't mind it. Should I get Van Heck or Minter for this game week? Got one free transfer. Depends who you're taking out. Depends who you're taking out and who you need to play and stuff like that. But yeah, both pretty good moves for this week. I don't mind both of them. I think obviously there's more upside in Minter, but yeah, you never usually see a defender when they go and get those big hauls. Go for it. Triple captain Haaland definitely could be a week where you do think about the triple captaincy. Second best for predicted points on some models as well. This is the week where Haaland has the best projected goals and Manchester City have the best projected goals. So I understand it. If you want to go for it, yeah, go for it. Bench Mateta, Semenyo, or Anderson. Probably one of the first two for me. Saka or Thiago. I think he plays Saka, right? Replacements for Semenyo. Maybe a United mid with Wolves obviously up this week and some decent fixtures longer term as well. Could also maybe look down to a Harry Wilson, who I really like at the moment. Could also maybe look to a Brentford midfielder like a Kevin Schade. Could also be maybe a differential one. Or you go for like a Bruno Guimaraes, you go for a Minter, an Anderson, one of these picks. Or you go up to Phil Foden. That's what I did with mine. I went up to Phil Foden. What's a good replacement for Dorgu? Probably Van Heck, Anderson. They're going to be cheap options around that price point. Who do you think has the highest chance of getting a clean sheet? Brentford or Spurs? Probably Spurs. Usually home teams do get the better percentage clean sheet unless they are like a top 6 side away at probably like a bottom feeder. For example, Liverpool will have a better clean sheet chance than Leeds will. Yeah. Mateta replacements. I think a lot of people are probably going to switch to the front two I've got right now and won't probably have another forward outside of that. I genuinely do think
most people will just have Thiago and Haaland going forward. I don't personally see like another forward, like maybe someone burst onto the scene, but I think with Walter Marder, now this is apparently back, in training and could be on the bench today. I don't really see a like 100% like, oh yeah, that's a guarantee, that's a lock forward. Maybe Raul Jimenez over the next few weeks with some good fixtures could also be a steady shout, but again, I don't really see it. Sell Salah to Foden could do, but like Leeds, it is a good fixture. Hi Tom, love your streams, mate. Your thought on which two you would rather play: Thiago, Gakpo, and Saka. Oh, I think because just purely for like maybe like a potential benching, I probably would go Thiago and Saka. Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely don't know why people were selling Mbeumo ahead of Wolves. It did seem a bit of a strange one, that one. So yeah. Atora Dango is all right, but obviously he is off to AFCON, so you will be then getting him back out as well. Are you planning to keep Rodon after the 5-3s? It depends. I haven't really like thought about the 5-3s too much because I think my team is already in a pretty decent place. The players that probably will be on the chopping block, like I said, probably will be Rodon, probably will be Michael Keane, probably will be Mbeumo because he's just purely off to AFCON, Kupri and Enza. Like they're probably the ones that I would be looking at. So yeah. I'm going Raul as my third forward for a few weeks. I've still got the bench boost to use. That makes sense then, Abby. That makes sense for you. Going with Raul. Like there's some good fixtures, isn't there? There's some great fixtures. Could very easily go off in one of those as well. Should I bench Mateta or Kudus this week? Probably Mateta. Right, Mateta? Just again, early substitution could maybe again be the cause of him getting that early sub. Start and die or Reinders, sell Mateta to Thiago. I've sold Mateta to Thiago. I'm all for that move. I think if Thiago scores today, his price is going to rocket with some of the fixtures he's got. We very easily could be looking at a guy that is 7 million by the time we get to the next game week. So, yeah, I'd be tempted to do it. Same with Mateta as well. If Mateta comes off early again, sub could be down like 0.2 million as well. Like some of the price changes we are going to see over the next few days, guys, are going to be wild. So be prepared for it. Lock yourself in. Should we consider Mbeumo as a captain? Like, again, not a bad captaincy option, but I think go with Haaland. Like, a large majority of people are going with Haaland this week. He is going to be the most, like, probably nailed captain. And I think he could even be, with some people considering triple captain, close or if not over 200% effective ownership. So it could be a big one. Bench boost or triple captain this week. If you've got the bench boost and you've got a full 15 ready to play, go with the bench boost. Should I replace Caicedo and Semenyo? If so, who for? I think there's a whole host of good midfielders. Minter, Elliot Anderson, Bruno Guimaraes, Foden. They're just a couple off the top of my head there as well. Harry Wilson, I really like the look of as well. So yeah, they're the ones I probably would be going for. Walter or Mateta this week. I would prefer to have Walter for this week. Longer term probably would be a sell. Minter or Bruno G. Probably Bruno G, just given the fixture. But Minter could absolutely rinse that West Ham defence. Triple Haaland now or West Ham. I mean, you've got the option to go now. And like, they are single game weeks. They could be very, very, very swingy between the two. If you fancy it, if you've got that gut feel, I probably would say maybe go this week. Is it crazy to captain Thiago? I probably would say yes. Yeah, I probably would say yeah. It's a little bit crazy to captain Thiago this week. Like I said, guys, we'll do another round of team reviews at 9 o'clock. Do keep your questions coming in. Obviously, keep the subscriptions coming in as well. We are on that road to 22,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're probably going to absolutely smash through it. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. You're the best, really. You are the best. I've got a lot of time for you guys. You're unbelievable. Start and die or Reinders, I probably would go and die. And Mbeumo replacement if you have Saka, Foden, Bruno, and Rice for next week. I'm stuck. Maybe it is dropping it down to like a Minter. Harry Wilson. I'm gonna keep putting his name out there, but Harry Wilson and those Fulham fixtures could be worth it. Why this week? Some models, this is the best week for projected goals for City. Up until 19, obviously, when we got to reset the chip. Also, as well, I've just seen a comment that's made me laugh. Also, some of the best predicted points according to models as well. Would you include Foden on the free hit after the Olympian tweet? Yes, I would. Like, as much as the guy is just like, I don't know how it keeps happening. It genuinely just keeps happening, and it is a curse and it is funny. But like, surely there's got to be a point where it just runs out. If it happens again this week, I'm taking every tweet that he puts out as serious. He's like Nostradamus, isn't he? Um, yeah. And Buemo or Fernandez or Saka, who has the highest chance of scoring? I imagine with Wolves, it probably isn't Buemo, then probably Bruno, then Saka in that order. It's not Van Dijk or Tarkowski. I think you go Van Dijk this week, right? Anderson Fulham is good defender. He gets Defcon. He is a great defender. Some great fixtures coming up as well. Should we get Moreno in our team? Probably not. With Gokres and Jesus back. Maybe Saka triple captain versus Wolves could also be an option as well. Don't have anything on Rice, unfortunately. Sorry. Bench Timber and Rice and start Elliot Anderson over them. Don't mind that. Don't hate that. Start 2, Elliot Anderson and Dye, Reinders and Richards. I also have Munoz. If you got Munoz, then I probably would go Anderson and Dye. Foden or Bruno as vice. If you've got Haaland, like in case there's something mental that happens in that game, probably will go with Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, honestly, it's unrivaled, isn't it? It's unrivaled. Bruno G or Enzo. Bruno G for this week. Probably the better pick, right? Probably the better pick. We are closing in on 150 likes on today's stream, guys. So if you do enjoy it, make sure, of course, you are hitting that like button. It is massively appreciated, as always, by myself. Like I said, team reviews will be done at 9 o'clock. And then we'll let the big boys go and do their thing. -4 and a bench boost versus a 14-man bench boost. Wanna go Matetas to Gui? I would probably wait. I don't think it's worth the -4. When used triple captain this week with Haaland, next week with Saka, week after back on Haaland, right? They're your weeks to potentially go and do it. Nice one. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. What are we at to with the likes? 140? 140? 141? Okay, 141. We're close to 150 then. We're close to 150. Hi, mate. Currently benching Rice and Timber, starting Elliot Anderson. I don't mind it. Like, Villa are on a very, very good form. And like you said, their home form is ridiculous as well. They actually have been one of the best teams over the past few weeks as well. Is Foden a must this week? I don't think he's a must because he's still like, what's his ownership at now? It's gone up by 10%. So his effective ownership will do some damage if he does pop off. But he's not at the point where he's like really gonna like tank your rank, basically. I would maybe take the gamble on Hall, but his minutes do seem potentially dicey. So I probably would say Dan Burn and Chow probably would be the two most nailed ones. But yeah, they could be decent options on the free hit for this week. Triple strike force of Thiago, Waltemada, and Haaland good. I think for this week, yes. Longer term, I don't think Waltemada is going to be a player I would want to have for me personally anyway. Is there another way of posting my team? Like I said, yeah, if you want to come and join the FPL Cartel Discord, that is the other way you can get your team reviewed by me. Can you tell us who are the players leaving for AFCON? There's a great post from Focal that I would highly recommend you go and check it out. That's where I personally would probably go and look. There's all of them in there, but I think you can kind of name a lot of them. Salah and Buemo, Dango, they're probably the big ones that are leaving. And thankfully, FPL have added this nice little like feature in the game that tells you which players are off as well. So if you click on a player, it will say something like this: the player may be called up for international duty and could be absent for game week 17 to 22. So there's like a nice little feature on the game as well that will tell you. Top 5 transfers for game week 16. I imagine Thiago is going to be in there. If Foden slaps, he's definitely going to be in there as well. Arsenal players with Wolves as well. I can see a lot of people maybe going for it. I have thought about potentially going and getting Cole Palmer as well. I want to see how Chelsea get on today. If Palmer's involved and does quite well, then obviously he's going to be on our radars. If not, then he probably won't be a player that most people will be looking for. Cheers, man. I appreciate that. I always get some wrong. He is in Meerkat's predicted lineup. Is Saliba? Haven't had any news on him though. We might get some predicted lineups. Sorry, leaked lineups in some of the other obviously bigger YouTube's deadline streams. Is Gahey a good player to transfer in? I think with maybe. Yeah, I think he is because, Palace are very good defensively. He's picking up assists randomly as well, DEFCON, all that good stuff. The problem you might have is maybe around January time, that move to Liverpool might come to fruition. That's the only thing I would be worried about. When can I use the bench boost and triple captain? If you've got a full 15, get the bench boost active. Triple captain, you go this week, next week with Saka against Wolves, or the week after on Haaland against West Ham. Those are going to be your weeks where you would be looking at the potential for a cheeky free hit. A bench boost or triple captain, sorry. Yeah. Play 2 out of Elliot Anderson and Chalobah. I would probably play both Andersons. Messi versus Ronaldo. I mean, they've definitely rigged it that way, haven't they? Thiago or Welbeck, Thiago all the way. Would you transfer Mateta for Thiago? Already did this week and would happily do it again. I just think Spurs aren't great at home. They've only won once all season at home so far this season. So, yeah. Yeah, if Palmer smashes it, I do think he really changes things up over the next few weeks. I could see a lot of big moves to obviously people rejigging the teams and stuff like that to get Palmer in. I think it just makes the game more interesting as well, doesn't it? It's like, do you stick with Saka or do you, of course, look to get Palmer? Like, if I was to go for Palmer, I think realistically the player that would come out would be like Brian Mbeumo, right? So it probably would be. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Saka. So it probably would be like Brian Mbeumo out. And we'd have like 8.9. So Palmer, we'd need to lose 1.4. And we could just easily go, what's Anderson at? I can't afford Anderson, but we'd obviously potentially make another move. Or I'd go for my fun pick for the next few weeks, Harry Wilson. If you haven't seen the Fulham fixtures, by the way, they've got Burnley, Forest, West Ham as like a run. So that could be the option. Then maybe look to go and get like a dud in over the next few weeks. So yeah, that's something you could always consider. You cannot use triple captain and bench boost in the same week. 100%. I'm starving with Saka for now. Palmer on the free hit. Yeah, Palmer on a free hit for 16 could also be very delightful. Munoz for attacking returns. Yep, he has been very, very good. Wilson over Raul. He just takes corners, and for 5.2 million, it's not bad. It's not a bad price point, is it? Few players off to AFCON as well from Fulham as well. So yeah, King. The problem with King is his minutes do fluctuate a lot. And I think if I just want a short-term punt, Wilson probably would be the one. But yeah, King's all right. But again, the minutes are a bit fluctuating, aren't they? Is Gahey the better pick than Munoz? Probably not. I do think Munoz is the ultimate pick. Foden for a hit? No. Like I've said to people, probably wouldn't be taking a hit this week with, of course, the AFCON transfers coming in next week. So, yeah. Just don't think it's worth it. Don't think it's worth it for me. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you do have ahead of the deadline, do let me know. As always, we'll be doing another round of team reviews. Likes are appreciated. We've hit over 150 on today's stream, so thank you very much for that one. Obviously, we're trying to hit 22k, 25k by the end of the year. Wow. Wilson's minutes are a little bit dicey. There are some early ones, but like I said, with people off to AFCON, probably will look a little bit more secure over the festive period. Bruno G or Foden, who's the more priority buy? I probably would say Foden, right? Should I start O'Reilly? Probably yes, but make sure you got some bench cover. Triple cap Haaland, 15 or 17. I feel West Ham are a bit better under Nuno. If you feel that way, then go maybe this week. Players will miss out this week. Most AFCON players will miss out this week. What do you mean? They won't? They'll play this week, right? They're going to play this week, mate. Next week is the one where it could be dicey, where some players might miss out. This week is guaranteed. Who would you buy between Calafiori and a Newcastle defender? Probably lean more towards the Newcastle defender. Who to bench? VVD, Senesi, Barnes, or Gakpo? I think it probably is VDV, right? Or Senesi. Yeah, we spoke about that one. It would be cool to see Messi versus Ronaldo in a World Cup, but it does seem a little bit rigged, doesn't it? Vice cap, Foden or Bruno. I've gone with Bruno just because in case anything happens in that Manchester City game and the game's like postponed midway through or there's whatever happens, at least I've then got Bruno as my captain. Like I never try and have captain and vice in the same game just in case something happens in that game where like the game's postponed or whatever. You never know what could happen. Yeah, we'll have to have a scout watch of Wilson and Raul and see which one does the best, right? Can we use triple captain and bench boost in 1 week? You cannot. You cannot. You can only play one at a time. Got 0.2 million in the bank. Who is the best option for Caicedo? Don't think you can quite get to Minter then, so probably dropping down to Anderson. Does about the same job, really, doesn't he? I'd be more tempted with the Minter and Bruno G, personally. Oh, just got hiccups. Like I said, the final round of team reviews will be in 5 minutes. And Buemo for Vice this week. Yeah, don't mind it. Don't mind it. I probably would be. If I've got a United player, I probably am sticking them on Vice, realistically, this week. That's probably where my hat would go. Yeah. Probably would go those ones as Vice. I probably wouldn't bring in Cherky as a differential. I probably would just stick it out with probably would just stick it out with Semenyo. Thoughts on free hit this week, but with no Arsenal players? I don't hate that. I'm always looking to with the free hit. I think for the single game weeks, just try and target the best one-sided fixtures. Like if it goes your way, you're absolutely laughing. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just one of those things. United defense this week. Hey, look, they should in theory keep a clean sheet, but they are woeful, aren't they? Anderson for Gahey transfer. Nah, I probably would leave it. Is there a link to your Discord? Yeah, man. Let me put it in the chat. There you go. That is the link to the sub launch. Go and check it out. And yeah, come get your team review. Come chat to us. There's plenty going off in there. Prizes for the mini leagues as well. So yeah, it's worth it. It is worth it. Good little community building over there already. I don't think Turkey starts for me personally. No, I don't think he starts. But we'll wait and see, I guess. We will wait and see. Bum, 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 bum. We get it next game week. So as soon as this deadline finishes and the game resets, you will have 5 in the bank. My underrated pick for the week. If he starts, I think it could be Lewis Hall. Could go mega this week. Yeah, if he starts, he could go mega. Probably would be tempted with Layman's. Like if you've got no defense. Wilson hasn't started every single game. No, he's had some injuries, but he's in and out. He's in and out. Doku, probably not a pick for me. Nah, not a pick for me. Oh, my back is a bit tight today. Oh. Best differential midfielder. Would you sell Semenyo? I have sold Semenyo and I went for Foden. I think if you've got like maybe like a Bruno G, could be worth potentially doing. Other than that, yeah, I don't think I probably would go for it. Bench Saka, I've got Foden, Bruno, Minter, and Gakpo. Also Haaland. Ooh. I don't think you can bench Saka. I really don't think you can. Free hit, ideal defense, playing a back 3, probably. Or maybe a back 4, like 3 Newcastle defenders and like a City defender or a United defender. It is 9 o'clock, so let's do this final round of team reviews then. Let's see what we've had sent in. Let's have a look. Oh my God, we've had loads, I think, sent in. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll whip through these. Bench and Mateta for defense 4, you like. I probably would be more tempted to play him ahead of Calafiori. I really, really would, actually. Yeah. One free transfer already used, and Dieter Minter. Planning to get Senesi out for Chow or Liver. Would you recommend? Also got Van Heck as O'Reilly may get benched. Bench Pateta because unsure in minutes. Yep, makes sense. Have you got another free transfer? I'm guessing you have, so I probably would do the. I for me probably would do the Keane to the Senesi to Chow or the Van Heck one. Yeah, I probably would do the Van Heck one. Bench order if you can, mate. Line up look okay. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, team looks decent, man. Would you start? I'd start Enzo. Gone for the upside free hit. Would you change anything? No. The Palmer one I rate. If Palmer cooks and comes off, fair play, man. I hope it works out for you, Chewy, man. Best of luck, mate. Need your pits on goalkeeper. 0 tree transfers available. Would love your insights on the bench. I don't think you need to do anything with your goalkeeper. Bench is fine for this week. Get yourself through to next week. You're all good. Hello, Tom. Free hit team for game week 15. Very nice. Very strong. Looks good. Here is my team. Nice. Decent. I would be probably tempted to play Elliot Anderson ahead of Dewsbury Hall. That would just be my personal preference. Next team up. Put João Pedro first sub, and I think you're cooking with that one. Got this team right now. What are your thoughts, and what do you think I could do with the 5-3s? I think it's very hard to say what to do with the 5-3s because Thiago probably would be one, right? Because of the Brentford fixtures coming up. I think the other moves would be relative to what Palmer does today. I think that dictates so much of how our 5-3s look. So it is hard to say. Bloody hell, mate. Make sure you get your team reviewed, eh? Transfer made. Senesi to Van Heck. Not sure who to buy when selling Mateta next game week. I think you could very easily go Raul Jimenez all the way down to like a complete dud. That's probably where I would go with it. Cool. That is all the teams reviewed. All the teams have been reviewed. Very, very nice. Hopefully, man. Hopefully the free hit absolutely smashes it out of the park. Right. It is obviously 9 o'clock. The big boys are live. We're going to go and let them do their thing as always. Thank you very much for everybody that's been in the chat today. Massively appreciate you all. Chat's been great. Likes have been great, all that good stuff. Head over to the FPL Cartel Discord if you want to come and chat to me during the games today or get your team reviewed before the deadline as well. Me and Golden Goal will both be in there chatting away to you guys as always. There will be a video out later tonight with my transfer targets as well. There'll also be a TikTok out tomorrow morning. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you follow me across all my socials as well. Plenty of good stuff going over all of those. And yeah, the best of luck to everybody this game week. Thank you, like I said, yet again. Obviously, we'll be back next game week. Video out tonight. See you all in a bit.